Meter reading.
Hi Ron. My first question is, what makes you say yes to a project?
What makes me say yes to a project? Something probably that I haven't done before. Something that strikes a nerve and something I'm interested in. Maybe something spiritual. Maybe something esoteric, unusuale. Could be a number of things, but that's an interesting question though. It's a simple question, but very interesting. Why would I choose one thing over another? What I've been trying to do last while is do things that are more of a challenge. I'm challenging myself more, and sometimes that's scary. It's very scary. But I've chosen that path because I guess I need to do that now.
And do you remember the moment you feel in love with cinema?
With what?
Do you remember the moment you feel in love with cinema?
I think from a very early age, possibly from the first movie I saw. My mother took me to see The Sound of Music with Julie Andrews, and I had to be 1 digit old, meaning up till 9 years old, 8 or 9, and I fell in love with that thing called cinema. It was the first widescreen movie, and it was great, and I just went, wow, this is such a great expression, and I could see myself possibly doing something around this later. I didn't know I would become an actor. I didn't know I would become a film director, but I knew there was something that I loved about that thing that's happening on the screen.
And what is your first memory on a film set?
First memory on a film set was doing an extra. I was an extra in a movie called Francis with Jessica Lange and Sam Shepard. And it was a very heavy story, and I was just in the background dressed in a tuxedo. There were 60 extras, only 20 worked that day. I was one of the 20. I wanted to be down with the camera, seeing how they did things, just learning. And I walked up to an actress who was like this. She looked sick. And I went up and I went, concerned, "Are you okay?" And she did one of these looking up at me, and her eyes were like blazing. She says, "I'm preparing for my scene." And I went, oh, okay, lesson learned, don't ever do that again. Disturb an actor when they're preparing. So that was one of my first acting memories.
And what is your relationship with Italy life?
I believe I still have a very good relationship with Italy. I have had a love affair with Italy for over 40 years. Not just because of Beautiful, but before that. Because I filmed my first movie here in Sicilia. And so I had several years of experiencing Italy before Beautiful. And I fell in love with Italy then. And I've had a love affair with it ever since. And I have a real warm feeling of the way people react because of Ridge, because of Beautiful. It gives me, I feel like I've had a relationship with every family in Italy for a long, long time. And I still have a lot of value for that.
And what impact has the bond and the Beautiful had on your life?
What impact? It was a steady job, for one, as an actor, yes. It allowed me to have a family. It allowed me to travel and see many wonderful places in the world, Italy being one of the main places. So it gave me a lot of worldly views that I might not have had otherwise.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
very thankful for that.
Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you.